We also we also have the oral tradition of memorization and a chain of narration. Yes, a chain of narration, a chain of basically being narrated from the Prophet ﷺ through his companions, through the tabi'in, all the way to this time, and we can actually prove this. But the Christians, unfortunately,
civilization has preserved.
Bro, if you can find any other community, be it Jewish, be it Christian, be it anyone else, who has their books, their scriptures preserved like the way the Muslims have, I would really like to see that evidence.
But let's not go off the point. Let's go off.
No, the point is still this: that how can you prove that the Bible that you have today, yes,
was the words of Jesus?
What came from the source, i.e. Jesus Christ?
Because before you interpret it, you have to be certain what you're interpreting is accurate.
Because you keep saying we have to be spiritually discerned, we have to put weight in what is in the gospel, but that is circular reasoning.
Yeah, let's answer that.
That is circular reasoning. Before you say what is in the Bible is true, you need to prove that it is from Jesus.
Now, let me ask you this.
No, answer the question.
Otherwise. Show me otherwise.
There's no otherwise. The proof is not there for the evidence of this Bible. That's simple as that. The reason you cannot answer
And
this.
this is why it's so important.
Speaks volumes.
To have your first principle needs to be not proof but faith. Now, in Christianity, facing Jesus Christ, that's the very first principle of the gospel.
Yeah, but
in my estimation. Now, the reason I say that, yours seems to be...
I still think it's circular reasoning.
No,
because your faith comes from the Bible. And the Bible is not true, then
Hashim,
it defeats the purpose. But you keep repeating yourself. I've explained this. No, I've explained. Wait.
You just, a minute ago, you just...
No.
Now it's my turn.
Fine. But you keep repeating the same thing.
I haven't.
You do. Check the video if you don't believe me.
Listen.
You keep saying you have to have faith. You have said this many times. You have to have faith what? In God's words. You have said this many times. You keep repeating yourself over and over and over
You
again.
can't be respectful to each other if you don't allow one another to speak.
But if you keep repeating yourself, that is not really scoring any points, is it?
If you feel that I keep repeating myself,
Yes.
and
What should I do?
listen, try and hear what I've said.
How many times do you have to hear you?
There might be
Repeat yourself.
Listen, there might be something that you're missing when I'm speaking. Just try and listen. Just try and...
Could it be possible the other way around as well? That when I keep telling you time and time again that you're not addressing the point I'm making, but you keep committing the fallacy of circular reasoning, maybe it is you who should be listening to me.
Circular reasoning.
Yes.
You base all your reasoning off of what you feel is evidence proof. Now tell me this, when you started to read the Quran for the very first time,
Yeah.
you open the Quran, you open it up, it's holy scripture,
Yes.
yeah, and you start reading. And as you read, you're reading what you believe to be the word of God.
Okay.
And you continue. And when you first read it, did you believe it?
Okay. You're asking me? Can I answer the way I want?
Please.
Okay. When I started reading the Quran,
Yes.
I was actually quite young.
Yes.
Maybe 4 years old.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
Or maybe younger. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Now your question is different when you say as an adult.
Well, when you could understand what you were
No,
doing.
but that wasn't your question. You said when you started reading.
Listen,
Sorry to be pedantic, but that is what you said.
All I said, what I'm trying to get across is that
Now that I've grown up, I'll answer that also, no problem. Now that I've grown up, I've looked at the evidence of them
before.
Yes, even before. When I was of a particular age, when I started looking, I started reading Quran quite early on.
Sure.
Yes, first just the Arabic,
Yes.
then I started reading the meaning,
Yes.
and then I started reading the tafsir, the explanation of the Quran, and then I started researching even the manuscripts of it.
Yes.
Yes. So yes, you, my friend, have you done that?
Done what?
Have you done the same kind of research?
Yes, I have. If to answer your question, yes, I have.
You have? And what is the earliest manuscript you have of the Bible? Let's see if you have done it. I really want to know. Because you said from 70, 80, but you haven't got any evidence of that manuscript.
2nd century fragments.
Alhamdulillah, it's the 2nd century now, not the 1st century. Alhamdulillah.
70 AD, what is that?
That's not 2nd century.
That's first century.
Listen,
0 to 100.
By the way, I made it very clear, within 100 years of Jesus, remember? Within 100 years of Jesus,
100 years of Jesus. So
you have nothing.
Jesus was 30 when he died.
Yeah.
AD is
After death.
After death, exactly. So 70 AD, what is that?
70 years after death.
40 years after him?
After the death.
Yeah, 40 years after him.
So that's what I'm going to try. That, we're from different, we have different stances of what's important in our religion. Now, it seems
In what way?
in the way that a large emphasis is put on evidence of how early you have a manuscript to me,
Are you saying that is what I believe in?
well, I mean, it would appear so because you're
Well,
saying.
I suggest you don't put words in my mouth. Ask me and I'll tell you.
The reason I
I say I look for evidence in manuscripts, but before that, I already had faith. I already read the Quran. I already read the tafsir.
Just wait until
I told you very clearly.
Wait until you hear my point before you jump, because you're jumping out. What I was trying to say is that you have an emphasis on.
You're doing it again.
It would appear you have an emphasis.
Now don't say appears. Ask me and I'll tell you. Don't assume.
So far, it would appear you have an emphasis because
No,
you
I
would like
don't.
to know.
No, I don't.
You would like to know what the earliest manuscripts
Yes.
in Christianity is
Yes.
before you can believe the credibility of the Bible.
Yeah, that's not my faith, but that's to ask you the question.
Exactly. So it's important to you. That's why you've asked.
It's important to me because in order for you to prove what Jesus said and having faith in what Jesus said, what precedes that is also important. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Good.
Now the importance of that for us is slightly different. The reason I asked you whether when you first read the Quran, I asked you, did you believe it? Did you believe the Quran when you started to read it?
I've already answered that question, but if you want me to, I will.
Now, you don't start looking into the history before you start believing it. You feel, or did you? Did you start looking into
I've
it?
already answered the question, Osman. Did you hear me?
No problem. If you feel you've answered it, no problem. I can only talk about my experience.
So do that, please, instead of telling me what I did.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, go on.
What I'm saying is that when I read
Yes.
the words of Christ, I feel that the Spirit testifies to me that it's true. Irrespective of going back now, I can go back and try and look for manuscripts. The most important thing is having to rely on testimony. Testimony is very important to any Christian because the Gospels testify of Christ. They testify
To
of
whom?
Jesus Christ.
To whom?
Sorry?
Through whom?
When you say through whom?
Look.
Through himself. So,
No, you didn't understand the question.
The Gospels,
No,
the authors,
understand the question. First and foremost, when you say you believe in the testimony, yes, the testimony is actually would be the manuscripts. Now you see why I think it's important for you to.
when you say the testimony.
Yes, listen to what I'm saying. In order for you to believe in the testimony, you must have at least a chain of narration or the manuscripts. But you have neither.
I don't believe so. I don't believe that.
So what kind of testimony you believe in? You don't know who the authors are. Yes, you don't know how those early unknown anonymous authors preserved what Jesus said. You don't know how it was propagated through the centuries, for which we are missing a large portion of the manuscripts missing.
Similar to
what? Hadith?
No. Similar to the Sadducees and Pharisees in the Gospels. They are very particular about outward manifestations of religion. They're very particular about that, and I think
What's that got to do with the manuscript evidence?
in a similar way, you're looking for manuscript evidence in order for you to believe that testimony. For us, it's the other way around.
I don't think you even know what testimony is.
Testimony, what do you mean? So to you, what is testimony?
I just explained it to you.
Someone
You
who
don't realize.
testifies. So anyone can have a testimony.
Okay.
I can testify that this man is wearing an orange and blue t-shirt.
Yes, because you're the witness.
And that's the
Because you're the witness.
And then, no, wait.
Osman, you're the witness, so you testify. Yes,
So
I will
let's talk
accept.
about witnesses now.
Yes.
Sure. So let's
What
get
does
into
the testimony mean then?
No.
Without witnesses.
that. No, because I can testify.
Yeah.
I can also write down that testimony. I can write it down.
What are you going to write down? That I saw this gentleman wearing a yellow T-shirt.
And I
So
testify that it's true.
in other words, you will
That's
write
the
down.
testimony.
Wait. In other words, you will write down that it is you who actually was the eyewitness, and you will testify based on that. But you see, in the case of the Bible, who are the eyewitnesses? That the scribes wrote it.
Eyewitness. Mark is an eyewitness.
John never says that he wrote it. So for you to say that he's the eyewitness is irrelevant. It's a moot point.
I believe John.
No, not what you believe. What does John believe? Did John ever say that I wrote based on the testimony of Jesus Christ?
Yes.
And if he did, where is the manuscript that he wrote?
He said the disciple who writes these things testifies of these things, and then just at the very first
That goes against you.
No, you think it goes against me because.
But even then the question remains. Where is the evidence for the manuscript that he wrote this?
Can't shout over each other.
Where he said this?
What I'm saying is that he said that he testifies of these things, and he's a disciple who writes these things and testifies of these things, and because he referred to himself in the third person, doesn't make me not believe it's not John.
Osman,
I still believe
you know
it's
what?
John. But you're entitled to believe that it's
Wait,
not John.
Osman,
I believe it's John.
with all due respect, listen.
Now you're entitled.
With all due respect, what you're saying is completely irrelevant. Shall I tell you why?
Can I finish my point?
Okay, go on, finish your point.
Now, irrespective of whether you believe John's testimony or not, are you still with me, Hashim?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Irrespective of whether you
No, don't respect. It's very important.
Wait a minute.
Very
You
important.
said you let me finish.
Yes.
And I'm sure you.
Without you asking me questions, finish it. Come
I'm
on.
sure you have some feelings about what I feel, and that's fine. Let's speak about it after. But I'm saying, I believe the testimony of Saint John. I believe the testimony of Saint Mark, Luke. I believe their testimonies. I believe what they wrote, not because an early Christian scholar said so, but because reading their testimony, it resonates with me spiritually.
Good.
And that's why I believe it. Now, I don't base everything that I believe on evidence. People say that they have evidence there's a flat earth. People say that they have evidence that there's a globe. Evidence comes.
Let's not talk about other people.
No, but I'm just
Talk
saying,
about yourself.
I'm just saying, when you try to focus on things that man say that they can prove with God, with God's work, that's where I believe we get in trouble.
Okay, you know what? This is what I've told you. I don't know. I think I'm repeating myself like the fifth or the sixth time, and you still have missed the point. Okay?
That's what I believe.
The important thing is this. Look, what I believe clearly in your case is a circular reasoning. I don't know if you understand.
You're entitled to believe that.
Well, no. I'll tell you why I believe that.
Sure.
Okay? In fact, I don't only believe this. I know this. I know it because you have repeated yourself several. You said you believe in the testimony of Saint Mark based on no manuscript evidence. Yes, you believe in Matthew, Luke. In fact, Luke wasn't even an eyewitness. Luke never met Jesus Christ. Yes, do you know that?
He was a scribe of
whom?
one of the disciples.
Of the?
One of the disciples.
Which disciple is that?
He says it.
Which? He was a student of Paul. Paul wasn't a disciple.
How could Paul not be a disciple? So what was he?
Let's not sidetrack.
Can you tell me how Paul was?
Has Paul ever met Jesus in his life in flesh?
On the road.
Has he met him in flesh,
on the road
or did he
to
see
Damascus.
a daydream?
So because he didn't meet Jesus in the flesh.
Yes. How can he be a disciple?
You're saying he's not a disciple.
How can he be? You tell me.
A disciple is anyone who follows Jesus Christ. Now, especially
No. Disciples in the context of the scribes.
I believe.
Wait a minute. We are talking about eyewitnesses here.
Yeah,
Yes.
eyewitnesses.
If Paul didn't see Jesus in flesh and he saw it in a dream, for you that is testimony, right? So anyone who dreams anything, yes, he's going to accept that testimony.
No, it's not true.
Then answer me, how is it possible to accept the testimony of someone who never saw Jesus?
You say he never saw Jesus, but he says he did.
In a dream?
He said he saw Jesus in a vision.
Yeah, which is a dream. A vision is just another word for vision. Dream.
Listen, I've never heard of an account of someone having a dream and then being blinded by that dream in real life. Have you ever heard that in your entire life? I believe there are certain...
Have you actually researched the whole world?
Wait a minute. I'm just telling you.
Because if you listen to some of the dreams and some of the testimonies of some of the Hindus, you'll be baffled, man. Forget about the light coming. They'll actually see much more miraculous things than that.
Let's take a poll. Anyone here?
No, don't take a poll. No, don't take a poll.
Have you ever heard anyone being blinded by something that they saw in a dream? Have you ever heard that?
You know what? Have you heard?
No, you haven't.
Wait. Have you heard of the story of Buddha? Have you heard of the story of enlightenment?
I'm not talking about Buddha right now.
Because you haven't heard of it. That's why.
No.
You asked me a question, I'm telling you.
I'm just
Buddha
asking you a
was
question.
enlightened. Wait a minute.
You just said...
Bro, you asked me a question, I'm answering you.
No, you're answering with another question.
No, I didn't.
Did you answer the question?
Yes, I will.
No, you didn't answer the question.
Okay, allow me to answer.
You're answering
Okay,
with
listen
another
to this.
question. Like you
Buddha,
said,
listen. If you...
Don't answer my question with another question, and now you're doing it.
Okay, wait. Buddha, when he was enlightened, he was blinded by the light of enlightenment. So based on the evidence, based on the testimony, like, you know what blinded means? Blinded doesn't mean that you lose your vision. Blinded can be...
In Paul's case, it was.
What, was he blind physically?
He was physically blind.
Okay.
For 3 days, I think. Thank you.
Okay, so there are different accounts in the Gospels. In some, the people along with Paul, yes, never heard the voice, yes, but only saw. Sorry, they heard the voice but did not see. But Paul saw, did not, and heard the voice as well.
Yes.
So we are getting different testimonies from the same event. Am I right? Now, whom do we believe? Do we believe that the people who were along with Paul, who gave a different account to that encounter, or do we believe Paul? So we have different contradictory accounts. And when you have a contradictory account in any testimony, in any court of law, You know what they do with that kind of testimony? They throw it out.
It's fake, right?
Okay, so now yours. Wait.
Let's explore that. Shall
Explore
we?
what?
Just what
I'm
you
asking.
said. What
You already said it was in the vision.
Wait a minute. Let's just explore.
Does any court of law believe in a dream as a testimony? No. But here, Mr. Othman is saying it is okay to believe a person who is dreaming. And by the way, it was his.
It's important you don't twist my words because I can speak for myself. And if you don't understand, I'll be happy to clarify.
Okay.
Let me clarify because you are clearly misrepresenting my words. So I'd like
Which
to
part
clarify.
did I misrepresent?
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. What I'm saying is that Paul testified, said that he saw Jesus Christ, and when you say it's a dream, I say it's a vision. He says it's a vision. That was his testimony.
So only Paul's testimony, right?
Sorry?
It's only his words.
That was his testimony. Now there were people next to him who said that they saw something also
Different.
When
They said they did not hear, but they saw. In another gospel, it says the other way around.
Sure.
So which gospel is the true one?
I believe that Paul was having that vision, and Paul only had that vision, and that's why he was.
So it's only Paul's words, right?
Well, that was his testimony.
So in other words, when Jesus says in John 10:30 that if I testify about myself, my testimony is not true. Even Jesus' testimony is not true. So what grounds have you got to believe in Paul's testimony?
How do you mean? Say that again.
Read John 10:30.
No, just paraphrase.
Sorry, John
it's fine.
5, not John 10:30. John 5:30.
You can paraphrase. It's fine.
I just told you. I said Jesus says, if I testify about myself, my testimony is not true. What do you understand by that?
Well, he's saying that he has other people who testify of him also.
So in other words, his testimony is not accepted if he testified about himself.
Well, I mean, listen.
Answer the question. You're spiritually discerned, so answer.
So sure, I can give my interpretation of that scripture.
Are you spiritually discerned?
Listen. All I'm saying is that scripture, just like you, I have an understanding of it. You have an understanding of it. If you want, I can share with you my understanding.
Give me your understanding.
My understanding of it is that Jesus was saying that he doesn't just testify of himself. Other people testify of him also.
No, he didn't say that. Read what he says.
He didn't say that.
He
So-
says,
so
if I testify about myself. What does he say? If I testify about myself,
Yes.
my testimony is not true.
Yes.
This is John 5:31.
Yes.
What do you understand?